Hey, gang, we are here, we are live. Today, we are going to be doing a bit of a throwback session from a month ago. We've been doing this for a month. People. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we're going to go back to a month ago. I had a session that the computer cut off and we got cut off the internet. And I'm thinking probably because of that bad luck back then, we'll probably have that same type of luck in this session. But I'm hoping not, so we can get a smooth video of this session going through. Again, it's a Throwback Thursday session, so we're going back to doing, we're going to go back and do some footwork in the warm-up. Going to get into some dribbling during the skills work, mix in some fitness, and work on turns at the end. So get your markers for today. All you're going to need is a couple of markers. I've got a couple of markers here that I'll be using. You can use socks. You can use shoes. You can use a shirt. You can use paper plates and cups and whatnot. Whatever you need as your marker. But get you a couple of markers so you can drop down and use those. We'll have them close together to start out, then spread them out for dribbling as we get into it. Our timer is going to be set today, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, going back to the same rep that we used back a month ago. And we are going to get after it. During that 40 seconds that we're on, push. All right, let's drive. Let's get sweaty. We got a special guest with us today. Joining us today, Coach Greg is joining us. He's going to get in here and show you what it's all about. All right, so try to keep up with us. If you can beat us, beat us. If you can join us, join us. If you're not quite there yet, keep working and you will be. All right, let me get this timer set up and we will be ready to go. 40 on and 20 off, and we are going to get this thing going. So starting out, we're just going to start out with toe taps. We're going to do them in a figure 8. So take your markers, spread them out just a wee bit on the floor. I hope you can see my markers. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. And let's go to figure 8 toe taps. Figure 8 toe taps. Let's go. Should be facing me the whole time, keeping your chest squared up in front of you. Moving the ball and your figure 8. If you're not where you can move with your toe taps, that's okay. It's okay. Stay in a central spot between those markers and try not to let that ball go outside of it. If this is where you're at, that's where you're at. It's okay. All right, we're just getting warmed up. Next up, we're going to move to foundations in that same figure 8. So we're going to be moving around those markers in our figure 8 movement, but doing our foundations. If you're not good with your foundations, it's okay to stay in one spot and grind it here. But try to stay in that one spot and then move to movement. Push your pace in that movement, and pace and foundations is that ball moving back and forth between your feet as quickly as possible. Moving and moving and moving. And then can you get your head up? Can you look at me like I'm trying to look at you while you move? Head up when you can. Keep moving in that figure 8. Push your pace. Get those muscles moving. Good. And hold there. Next up, we're going to be doing soul rolls. You guys know these. If you've been with me, you know these. These soul rolls, we're going to try to move them from marker to marker. So as I'm here, I want that ball to come from bottom of the foot to bottom of the foot, going back and forth. I can start with standing, and as I get more comfortable, I want to keep that range of motion and move that ball back and forth using the bottom of our feet. I love the fact that Coach Greg came to train with us today, right? I want you all to see, right, that there's a range for all of us, right? And where you're at right now is just where you're at. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just where you're at. and we're here to train, and we're here to push, and we're here to get better. Coach Greg jumped in to show you that. Let's do it. Push. Push, guys. Head up when you can. And I keep that control while looking at you, while you look at me. All right? Next up, reverse soul rolls. So now we're going to have to switch our hips to pull the ball from the opposite side, still moving it from side to side, not heel to toe, side to side, using that same soul roll motion, going soul to soul, switching our hips back and forth. Square those hips and just rotate them as you move. Getting loosened up, getting warmed up. I haven't even got my headband on yet. I'm not. Y'all, why didn't y'all tell me I didn't have my headband on out there, guys? I should have seen that in the text somewhere. But I'm in now. Find your place, find your space, find your speed, and push it. All right? Next is going to be cross pull. So it's that same motion, but now instead of going side to side with our rolling motion like we were doing just now, we're going heel to toe, using that pullback movement. So our rolling is now heel to toe. Let's do it. Cross pull. No, so just now, so it was a good question. Eli just asked, that's what we were just doing. Before, our motion should have been side to side, so the bottom of my foot, the ball should be rolling side to side with the bottom of my foot. Now, we're going back to front. And getting a whole hip, body turn, pull back style. Still using our markers as our main point of movement. So it's a lot of turns, really quick, switching the hips back and forth, working on that turn movement and the shifting of the hips, right? Keeping that ball in vision. Next up, we're gonna do some V cuts. So we're gonna pull that ball back, use the instep to push it forward, back and forward, back and forward. If you want to step in between your markers on this one, probably a good place to start, and just pull it back and push it forward using the instep, using a V cut. Working on that motion of opening our hips when we receive that ball and pushing it into the open space, away from the attacking, away from the defending team, so we can find new space away from pressure. Look at Coach trying to throw a wrench in my game. He was like, I want to see him mess up too. He did it. Let's go. Let's go. Keep pushing, Coach. Keep pushing. Find your speed. Find where you're comfortable first and move at that speed. And then as you feel more comfortable there, push your pace. All right, so find where you're at, go at that pace, and then push it. Again, the beauty of training alone, which we're not necessarily alone here, but the beauty of training alone is you get to determine that. No one's judging you for it, all right? V cuts again, outside of the foot this time. So pull and push it with the outside of the foot in a V shape. Tight turns, tight touches, getting a lot of them. Woo! Coach chasing his ball. Eli's the only one keeping it tight. Keep going, guys, keep going, keep pushing. Just getting warmed up. Good. Next up is a rake. So we're going to be moving back and forth between our markers. We'll slide back just a hair. Slide back just a hair so we can have our space to move here. We're going to be moving back and forth with that rake motion, across and across. Get movement from marker to marker. Increase our range of motion. Raking that ball across the body shifting our body with each touch. And on this one, the movement, the range of movement is really important. The big deal is not how fast you can go. When we can add speed, it's great, but the range of motion should be high. Eli's got a great combination of range of motion and speed, all right? Range of motion comes first. This allows us to elude the defender. Speed comes second, makes it more effective. Good, so we're gonna add to that. We're gonna build on that rate. So a bit augmented from the last time, we're gonna build on this rate. So as we come across, now we're gonna cut it back with the outside of the foot. Then switch to the other side, rake and cut back, switch to the other side, rake and cut back. So we're adding a step to that move where we're adding some complexity, sorry coach, where we're adding some trickery, adding some deception to the end of that rake. So if we hit them with the rake a few times, it's been effective, they may expect it to come. So we're gonna change it up and rake and cut back to get them moving in one direction and then go the opposite direction. So as we pull across to rake, we're just taking that touch with the outside of the foot to push it back out the direction we just raked away from. Good. Nice and slow with that across and then push out. So then we're gonna add one more to that rake. And if you're working on the rake, you're not there yet with the rake, stay there. Add this later. This video will be here, all right? So we're gonna go across, fake, and then across and fake. So we're gonna kind of fake that outside of the foot touch and bring it on across. Start slow with it if it's new. It's new for me, so I'll be going slow just to get the feel. But we're adding complexity. If we're safe and we feel good in just the rake, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Good stuff. All right, let's get stretched. Good and warm here, good and warm. Get stretched. Get you a little bit of space. Legs out, hands down. Walk those hands back as far as you can go without bending your legs. Over to the right. And if you've been rocking with me and y'all been rocking with us, this is my stretch routine. Hey, feel free to develop your own. It's all good. There's no good or bad way to stretch as long as you're getting that stretch in. Switch over to the left. This is just how I've been doing it for years when I'm training by myself. So I just figured I'd bring it on to you. Let you use it and adopt it and switch it up however you like to get your muscles good and stretched out. Back to the middle, hands forward, feet back, kind of stretch. And let's switch that. Let's put both feet down and walk our hands back. Try not to bend your knees and roll up slow so you don't get dizzy. Exhale on the way up. One leg up. And we're pulling just back towards our butt, not beyond the butt. And we're pushing our hips forward. And switch. And good. Groin stretch, butterfly or sumo. One leg out. We're about to get moving in this thing. If you hadn't started to break the sweat yet, when we come out of the stretch, switch, and we get into these figure eights, there's gonna be some movement. And we gotta push, and we gotta work, we gotta grind. At the end of this workout, should be good and tired, good and worn out. Good individual stretch, whatever you need, grab a drink, maybe get a little bit of back stretch in or whatever. In the next activity, we're going to figure eights. You want to give yourself some space here. So stretch it out a little bit. I'm going to augment us a little bit. I'm going to switch us around so that we got enough space equally and you can kind of see things from different angles. All right, but give yourself a little bit of space and we can get after it. If you don't have a lot of space, like I've said in the other videos, it's okay. It's quite all right. All right. All you need to do is shorten it up to what you have and work with it. These figure eights, if you have a little bit of space to dribble, that's great. You can work on a certain aspect of your movement. If you don't have that space, make the figure eights close, just like in the warm-up, and just do them really fast, a whole bunch of figure eights in a row. Because it's all about getting touches on the ball with different parts of our foot, and that's what we're here to do. So who we got with us here today? Abby's in the house. We got Mo in the house. Let's go. Who else is here? Can I scroll through this? Yep. Oh, Faithful T's in the house. Let's go. Seth, I see you. Avery, Yasmin. Let's do it. Let's do it. B, I see you. Maddie and Lily are here. Albany's in the house. Man, let's go, people. Thanks for joining us today. Super excited to have you. All right. So, I'm going to set up a little ahead of these guys so maybe you can see me from the side. And I'll have that. No, this doesn't be better than this. Have us in our own lanes. So we're going to try to stay in lanes here. Coach Greg's going to have this lane between these two strips. I'll have this lane in the middle here between two strips. And Eli will have this lane here. Maybe a little mixing back and forth. And again, we can put them at different distances, Coach. You don't have to put it necessarily the same distance, but we can stretch them out, put them a little bit tighter. It's all up to you. But here we go. What we got up next, figure eights. We're going to dribble with our strong foot. I'm going to put my counter. Strong foot dribbling, figure eights. Push your pace. We're only going for 40 seconds. So I want you to grind, and I want you to push, and I want you to drive for that whole 40 seconds. Don't slow down. Don't stop. If you lose the ball, get back in your zone, and go after it. Strong foot. Are y'all ready? Let's get it. Let's go. Strong foot. Woo! That's just the first one. Woo, that's just the first one. Next up. All right. Next up, weak foot. And again, y'all know this rotation. You've been with me. Push your pace. Grind. Go. Push, guys. Come on. As you push, as you go, the reason for the distance in cones gives us an additional thing to work on. If we don't have that space, it's okay. We're still working. But if you have that space, stretch them out, right? Because then we can work on that aspect of controlling the ball in a distance and getting a good touch to separate from our defender once we come out of the turn. All right, let's go. Gotta go inside her foot next. Again, as I turn here, I gotta put myself in the game. I gotta use the experience that I have, put myself in the game, and put myself in a position where I'm exploding out after making that turn to get away from the defender. Inside her foot, let's go. Breathe. Outside of the foot, between the cones, between your markers. Can you make one touch between your markers? How fast can you get from marker A to marker B? Let's go. Come on, E. Come on, E. Let's go. Good. Breathe, gang. If you're pushing right now, you're gasping for air. Right? You want to breathe. Keep your hands up. Keep your head up. Don't go here. There's no air down here. It's up here. Going back to our strong foot. Strong foot. Let's go. Can we make one touch between the cones, between our markers? One big touch at a speed and a pace that pushes us to our max. We can accelerate to our highest speed and then slow it down and cut and go around the markers again. Woo! This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. How you feeling, coach? Feeling? He's feeling. I know Eli said it. Do nothing but train hard. Right? Weak foot. Push. Let's go. I'm losing it. Tired. Let's go. Come on, gang. My legs want me to stop. My legs are saying quit. Who's in control? My brain or my legs? Come on. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Let's keep pushing this thing. Going inside of the foot only. Test your heart. Test your will. Test your desire. Let's go. Woo! Woo! Last one, then we get a break. Who's ready for a break? Lord, I need a break. We got one more. 40 more seconds. Test your desire. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, guys. My body's screaming for that break. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, goodness. Break time. Grab a drink. Grab a breath. Don't do this. Stay here. Open up. Breathe. Control your breathing here. Really important. Control your breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Big deep breaths in. When we push our body like that, our muscles work really hard. And that work requires oxygen. And as those things are working, they're pumping the oxygen out of them in order to keep up. When we get a chance to stop and breathe, the best thing we can do is stop and breathe and replenish that oxygen that we just squeezed out of our body from pushing so hard. All right, breathe, get it back. When we jump back into this, we're gonna be in a fitness circuit. All right, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. I'm personally not looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to it because that's how it goes, right? I try to put things that are gonna push me, that are gonna challenge me, that are gonna make me think about quitting. So I can hit that wall and I can run straight through it. Rarely do you find an athlete of any type that's great without seeing that greatness and pushing towards that greatness with everything, all their chips pushed into the middle. I want you to push your chips all the way into the middle in this one. I want you to go all the way in, right? Give it all, right? Heart, emotion, pour it out. Go till you can, right? And then stop, recharge, and then go again until you can, all right? So next up, we don't need our markers. Like I said, we're gonna jump to a fitness rotation. First thing we're gonna do is a plank, tuck, movement. All right, so if you wanna move back and forth between your markers on this plank tuck, you can. What that will look like is going from plank to tuck and walking your hands forward. And then when you get to your end, you're gonna walk back to a tuck and shoot back to the plank.
We don't.
If you wanna use your markers, that's fine. If you don't, just stay in place and go from plank to tuck. Back to plank, back to tuck. Either one works, all right? But whichever one you do it as best you can for as long as you can without stopping. Stop for a second, then get it back in. Can you go the whole 40 seconds? I'm gonna try to go the whole 40 seconds. I know Eli's gonna try to go the whole 40 seconds. I know Coach is gonna try to go the whole 40 seconds. Are you gonna do it? It's on you. This workout is on you, all right? Are y'all ready? I'm still breathing here. Let's do it. Plank to tuck. I'll stay stationary while they move so you have both examples. I'm burning. My core is burning. My shoulders are burning. Y'all with me out there? Woo! Shake it out. Next up, single leg hop flyers. Single leg hop flyers. Use your ball. If you don't have a ball close to you, it's okay. We're just gonna go back and forth over the ball. In a plyo, landing on one leg, bend it, and springing back out. Let's go. Push. Single leg plyos. Increase your pace as you feel comfortable. Working on our change of direction. Been able to explode out of our scissor. Been able to explode out of our fakes. Been able to explode out of our figure eights that we were just working on. Come on, back and forth. Keep pushing. Land soft, land on your toes, rock back to your heel, and explode out. Good stuff. Keep that going if you want to through the break. I got that burn. So we're gonna sit in a squat, go to a push-up, and then back up to a squat. All right? Oh my gosh. Did I just get kicked off? I did. Oh my goodness, I hope y'all can see me. If you can't see me, keep pushing. It hasn't said that the video's ended, it's just saying it's having trouble. If you hear me and you keep going. Of course, this workout wouldn't go all the way through without a hitch. It's gotta be something. Keep going, guys. All right, hold, can you hear me? I'm gonna pause there and try to restart this thing.